Jennifer Priest here with a fun glasses case that you can make with Kunin felt. You can find this felt at most craft stores, and this is the embossed felt. So I'm using the cashmere pattern and this snakeskin pattern in kind of manly color. So I'm making this for my husband. So you're going to take a marker and just trace an old glasses case, and you're going to need to kind of roll it so that you can trace around the front of it. And I marked on the sides kind of where the little tabs would go that's going to wrap around to make that pocket. Now, if you have a really old glasses case, you can just take it apart completely and use that as a pattern. So you're going to make sure you remove the label from the felt before you sew. And then I used some pins to pin this in half so that I could make my shape symmetrical, because when I traced it, I kind of moved it a little bit. So when I get to that tab part, I'm cutting all the way around to make bigger tabs. You can make these as big or as small as you want. I wanted bigger tabs so the glasses wouldn't fall out of the side. And then you're going to remove your pins, and now to make the lining, you're going to pin those tabs down because the lining isn't going to go on the tabs. It's just going to be on the inside of the glasses case. So I'm using some of that black snakeskin, kind of reptile skin pattern felt, and just using that other piece as my pattern. So I'm just cutting around that with some scissors. Now I'm going to sew just the inside of the pocket together using a sewing machine. And so I've pinned those two pieces together and pulled those flaps out because the flaps are going to wrap around. And you don't want to sew around the whole thing yet because then you don't have a place to tuck those flaps. So I'm just sewing to the flap, and then that's it. You can kind of see on the back there where the stitching ends. Now I'm going to use fabric fusion tape from Aleene's to hold those tabs in place, and I'm putting the fabric fusion on the very edge of the tab. That way when I go ahead and sew everything together, it's not going to interfere. I'm not going to get any adhesive on my needle of my sewing machine. Now if you don't have a sewing machine, you could put your entire project together using the Aleene's fabric fusion. It's a really fun tape, especially if you're going to be doing this with kids and you don't want to use a sewing machine. You could use the tape. It sticks really, really well and it's permanent. Now once I've put my tabs in place, I'm going to go ahead and pin everything together, and it's a little hard to get the pins through because at this point you're going to be pinning through 4 layers of felt. So once you have that all pinned exactly where you want it, you can go ahead and put that in the sewing machine and sew the sides of the pocket closed as well as sew around the circle of that flap. And I'm actually stitching on the outside of the case so that I can watch where the stitching is going and make sure that it's equal distance from that edge of that tan colored felt. I don't want to sew off the edge or anything like that. So again, you got to go a little bit slow when you're going through those 4 layers of felt. Now I cut out a mustache out of some of the reptile felt, and I stuck a piece of the fabric fusion tape to the back of it, and then I'm just trimming that so that I can make it kind of like a fabric sticker. And I'm going to put that on the back of the glasses case. My husband said that he wanted a mustache on it, so that's what I'm going to do. And that's a little bit easier than applique. And then I also have this hook and loop tape from Aleene's. It comes in the 2 strips that are separated. So you're just going to take the 2 strips that go together and press them together. And then I cut a little square off the end. And that's what I'm going to use to close my glasses case. So this is self-adhesive. You don't have to sew it, which is nice because I didn't want to have like little square stitch marks on the outside of my glasses case. So you just put one side down, then fold it down and stick the other side. So this is what the little glasses case looks like when it's done. And you could totally do this for any kind of person, different colors or whatever color scheme you want. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment down below. Bye!